Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ballet Rain. Welcome back to another Nutcracker edition of the Ultimate Ballet Costume Showdown, where we compare ballet costumes from different companies around the world to see which one is, subjectively, the best.
Last year, we put out a poll to see which Nutcracker-themed costume showdown you guys wanted to see, and the options were the Sugar Plum Fairy or the Rat King. And the Sugar Plum Fairy did end up winning by just a little bit. However, we did get tons and tons of earnest comments from you guys begging for the Rat King costume showdown to make its official debut in 2025, and so here it is. We have Pip the Squeaker here with us today because today's costume showdown is going to be featuring the one, the only legendary Rat King from the Nutcracker.
The Rat King is sort of the antagonist of the Nutcracker,
yes.
Although sometimes in some versions he does provide a little bit of comedic relief as well.
Yes.
And honestly, every single company portrays the Rat King in totally different ways.
Yes.
And so that is exactly why we are comparing all of them today with you guys.
As always, we have 8 incredible Rat King costumes from 8 different companies around the world, and those 8 will go head-to-head in the preliminary round and get narrowed down to 4 for the semifinals, and there they will be narrowed down again to only 2 for the final showdown, where we will eventually crown the ultimate Rat King costume.
This is gonna be a fun video.
Yeah,
there
sure.
are honestly so many different interpretations of the Rat King costume. Yeah. So if you're as excited as we are, then hit the like button, hype the video, etc., and let's go. Pip is gonna sit right here, okay? And he's going to help us with our very subjective judging, because I feel like if anyone knows Rat King, it's gonna be this guy right here.
Before we get started with the official costume showdown, of course we gotta give you guys the criteria that we are somewhat subjectively judging these costumes off of, and what we're kind of expecting when it comes to a subjectively ideal Rat King costume. So starting with the obvious, he is indeed a rat, a mouse, and so he needs to look like
a mouse.
Rat or a mouse.
He needs to be recognizably mousy.
Exactly. He needs to have mousy ears, mousy tail, mousy claws, the works. In essence, he needs to look like a rat, because literally in the job description.
In terms of colors for the Rat King, I would say that he's generally like a gray.
Anywhere from like a gray to a brown, that kind of area is probably where we're going to be the safest. But of course, you can have like any other pops of color if, you know, they wanted to dress him up in like a little cape or a little, you know, a banner or something.
The capes and accessories and whatnot are usually like gold or purple or red, kind of like royal colors, because he's the Rat King.
Exactly, which brings us to our next point. Another obvious one is that he's the Rat King. And so we definitely would expect for some kind of symbolism, some sort of like recognition, perhaps.
Some
like
kingly something or other.
And so a crown would be cool. Any sort of like royal emblems are like...
A cape maybe, the little sash.
Exactly. So something that says rat and something that says king.
And our final criteria for Mouse King is that he's the antagonist of the ballet. He's kind of like the villain of the story.
Yes.
So he has to look slightly more intimidating. Slightly. But also, this is a very fine balance, because the Nutcracker is probably the most common ballet to be watched by families and children.
Yes.
So we can't go too scary.
You don't want to go too grotesque with this one. You don't want to go like Conchai's Minions with this. You kind of want to keep it balanced. Antagonist, but not harrowing antagonist.
Exactly. We don't want to scare off our baby prospective ballet nerds who are going to see the ballet for the first time. They don't want to be crying.
You don't want to be
Exactly.
traumatized. You don't want that.
So like antagonist, intimidating, scary, but not
scary,
haunt your dreams scary.
Exactly. So that's kind of our base criteria for this costume showdown.
And anyways,
let's get started.
Starting with our preliminary round here.
Go.
And our comparison number 1 is the Royal Ballet versus the National Ballet of Canada.
Yes.
I know these two actually went head to head in our Sugar Plum
one
costume showdown.
Linked above and below if you haven't watched that one. That one's an extended episode as well.
Right off the bat, I love that the Royal Ballet has like this sort of really majestic looking Rat King. He still looks very classically like a dancer. He's not too cartoonish, but ultimately he looks very, intimidating, very kingly, very mousy.
You see the gold, you see the sword, which kind of gives you that sort of royalty impression. National Ballet of Canada does have that as well, but this one it goes very much animal, much less dancer, which is, a very valid interpretation of the costume.
Yes, the giant, the whole suit.
Yeah, the whole
going on.
suit. I love both of them, honestly. I really do.
If you just look at the amount of detail and stuff, first of all, the Mouse King is not easy costume-wise to dance in or to create, to make that whole costume happen. To make it danceable, breathable, sort of somewhat for the dancer, it's quite the experience. Which one are you leaning towards first, though?
My initial was Canada.
Oh, really?
Honest. Just because he has sort of a more animal-ish look.
Yeah.
Because he has the whole suit going on. Although I will say, just the face, maybe it's just me, it's giving more teddy bear.
You're right.
In my opinion.
Okay, I see that.
Royal Ballet, while it is very much like
you see the
dancer beneath the suit, still distinctly like a rat.
Yeah,
head,
the face is very rat. Maybe from a different angle it's better, but just from head on, it looks just a little bit more bear-like.
Yeah.
And a little less rat-like. As much as I love the suit, I'm always a fan of when the Rat King is in a full suit.
I know. I love the little robe they gave him.
Yeah.
And the crown is fantastic.
The crown
is really, really cool.
I'm airing Royal Ballet.
Oh.
I'm airing Royal Ballet because as much as I love the fursuit, I do not hate having him without it. It almost adds a bit more seriousness to it, I think, because you can still see the fact that it's very that is a dancer, and he almost seems a bit more majestic. You can see the lines of the dancer, you can see the poise, so that it's less unserious and a bit more he's actually very majestic Rat King. Just for rat recognizability, I have to go Royal Ballet on this one.
Canada's one, you kind of lose the face a little bit.
Yeah, you lose his face. The silhouette is perfect.
The silhouette is phenomenal.
The rat suit is perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's just, I feel like
Royal Ballet, you can see
the face a little better. From the back of the auditorium, you can still see
oh, it's definitely a mouse.
Just by a little bit.
Yeah, but it's honestly, it could go either way with this one. But yeah, let's go Royal Ballet with this.
Moving on to second comparison of our preliminary round. We have the Bolshoi Ballet versus the Boston Ballet. Wow.
This one is very clear for me anyways. Bolshoi, frankly, is not cutting it for me. I'm so sorry. Does it look like a borzoi to you?
It looks like a greyhound.
Oh yeah, a greyhound or
like
a borzoi. We'll put the images up here.
And I do think that they have a very different creative direction for their Nutcracker in general.
They do.
A lot of their costumes are not standard, what you'd expect from your average Nutcracker.
Yeah,
so
sure.
the Rat King obviously is no exception. He looks a bit different than, what you might commonly expect to see.
But if you're looking at Boston's by comparison,
I actually really like Boston.
He's holding a little olive in this photo. Like a martini olive or something.
That's actually funny.
But look at the crown and all the capes and the robes and everything. I love that you see his little mousy feet and the tail and his little hands are bare, kind of like the way rats actually are. Which I like that detail a lot.
You guys, he really looks like an actual mouse. The eyes, just the way the fur is.
The ears,
the mouth, everything. It's very, very convincingly rat. And what I love about this costume is that his sort of accessories, they look like he pulled them off the Christmas tree.
It literally looks like little bits of tinsel and wrapping. It literally looks like wrapping paper.
Like wrapping paper.
It looks like
and
wrapping
fabric
paper.
And his crown's a bit erratic.
Yeah, it's
just
little bits and pieces just kind of pieced together. I think that's adorable. It's like a cut and paste sort of situation.
Guys, this is very convincing.
I love Boston.
He looks like
a
real rat.
Yeah.
The proportions, the details, the little whiskers, the nose.
Exactly. He looks very rat, and all the accessories are very, cohesive with the story and the sort of scene.
The setting, yeah.
He's not just a king. He is, but he's going to, pull apart the living room to make it look like that. You know what I'm
exactly.
So,
we're going to go Boston Ballet on this one, for sure. This one actually did surprise me of how well it's done.
I'm very impressed. It goes with the story. It goes with his character. It's wonderful. I love it.
Whoa! Oh, wow! That's terrifying.
That is quite a costume. Okay, up next we have the English National Ballet and San Francisco Ballet. Wow. English National looks like
that is
a Rat
terrifying.
King, skeleton ghost something or other.
It was Halloween was 3 months ago. We should not be.
I don't think I would have been able to survive that as a kid. I'm just saying that, right? I mean, yes, I was a very sensitive child. Okay, I was an exceptionally sensitive child. But I mean, surely there are other kids like that. I think it's like very well done for like the concept that they were going for.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that.
absolutely. They made a full-out
It's
rat
a full
skull.
out rat skull.
And red glowing eyes, and for the concept they executed exceptionally. It looks like a rat king who had been dead for several months and somehow resurrected
it
for
really
Christmas
does.
time. You know what I mean? Like, you can even see in his outfit, you can see that kind of like kingly.
Yeah.
I don't know what era this is, I'm not a historian, but
No.
it's like the kind of older, when they had like the puffy pants. It's like that, but it's like really old.
Really
and decrepit.
disheveled.
It's like almost like a zombie rat king.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Yeah, it's a different kind of Christmas miracle. That he's still here.
I mean, yeah, that's true. You know, the kind of rat that you'd find like under your couch if your mates
Not a
didn't.
creature was stirring, not even a. Oh wow! San Francisco, however, takes it in a very different approach. I think it still has, you know, some of the scary elements, but I think it's in a much more cartoonish
Yes.
sort of way, which is a little bit more digestible for our young audiences.
young audiences.
Which I appreciate a lot.
The eyes are very big, very cartoonish.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
like not cartoonish bad, but cartoonish good.
Yeah.
As in like you'll see it from far away, and
Exactly.
it adds sort of that whimsy and that story that we're wanting to see from the Nutcracker.
Exactly. He does have a little king's jacket
little
and
king
everything,
jacket.
and the boots.
The teeth are pretty scary, but like
Yeah.
it kind of adds that like just a little bit of antagonisticness.
It's a little bit of a menace, but
Yeah.
not overwhelmingly.
If you were to ask me which one I'd pick, I do say that the San Francisco Ballet goes in a little more of a whimsical, playful almost
Yeah.
way, just because of like the bright colors and obviously the way they constructed the face and the crown. It's a little more like cartoonish, a bit more childlike, a very positive way.
Yeah, exactly.
And whereas the English National is like full serious, this is nightmare material. Like
Yeah.
if you were Clara and you were actually having a nightmare,
Yeah.
this is sort of the thing you would see. So in that case, it's like there's nothing cartoonish or unserious about this. This is very serious for what
Exactly.
Clara is at that age.
I will say San Fran does have the crown element and
That's
sort of the
true.
royalty element, whereas English National, I mean, this honestly could have been
Like
any of the
Kochkai.
other mice.
Oh, that's
you know?
true. That's true.
Like I would be looking at this and probably still be scanning for like, oh, where's the
Mouse
Where's
King?
the Mouse King? But
Yeah,
this
that's
one is like
true.
definitely a king.
You do get to see the crown. You see the little jacket, the little
Yeah,
furry
see?
robe.
He does have a sword too, so
Yeah.
I think I'm going San Fran with this one. I mean, for a lot of reasons. I mean, I'm not saying English National isn't fabulous for the design choice and like
Yeah.
the direction. They went with the creativity.
Yeah.
With that costume, they nailed it. But I think I'm going San Fran for this
Yeah, I agree. Just by a little bit.
one. A little bit.
And again, it's subjective. Depends on
Totally
like
subjective.
what artistic thing, but I think for my taste, maybe
Yeah.
San Francisco Ballet.
I agree.
Let's do it. Last one of the preliminary round, last
go.
comparison. Oh, we have New York City Ballet versus Mariinsky Ballet. Oh, both of these are pretty good.
These are iconic. New York City Ballet, we grew up on this one.
Oh yeah, we
There's a
grew up
little bit of a nostalgia tied
Yeah.
into this one.
nostalgic bias.
Just a little bit.
What I love about New York City Ballet though is for one, the giant rat suit.
Yes.
We love that.
We love that.
And also, he actually has 7 heads.
Yes.
Which, canonically, according to the novel, the E.T.A.
story.
Hoffman Nutcracker and the Mouse King story, the Rat King does actually have 7 heads. So this is lore accurate. This
It
is a
is.
lore accurate Mouse King, you guys. And so that's partly why it's already tipping the scales in its direction. For me.
Exactly. I don't think very many productions have that little added detail with, you know, this mouse with 7 heads.
Yep. And what I love about it is that it's not too ridiculously scary.
No,
Like
it's
he's
not.
still in this like pudgy little rat suit.
I know,
But
it's
it's
so
like the 7 heads in itself that kind of makes it look like otherworldly, kind
Yeah.
of scary, freaky, antagonistic
Yeah, exactly.
kind of thing.
But the faces themselves are not that intimidating. And frankly, it's
It's kind of adorable.
kind of adorable. I think that detail in itself, like the 7 heads and the 7 crowns, is kind of the main feature here. Like the rest of the costume's fairly simple. He just has the sash, but which I still think is like perfectly fitting. It's something that'll stand out from even if you're like in the back of the audience.
Yep.
You know, you can still see him and you'll still know, oh, that's definitely the Rat
Definitely the Rat King because he has 7 heads, 7 crowns, and this little red sash.
Exactly. I think it's iconic, honestly. Marinsky is, I mean,
this is a classic like,
Rat
what
King
you'd expect
costume.
for a Rat King. I love capes.
Yeah, capes are wonderful.
I appreciate the cape, and also that does solidify him sort of as king.
Sort of. I just feel like it's not as like New York City is still a simple costume. I just feel like maybe it's better constructed.
Yeah, maybe.
Like I feel like Marinsky's.
It's all right.
It's okay.
Like it does the job. You know what I mean?
It's okay.
I appreciate the small details. Again, like it looks like he kind of just pulled stuff off the Christmas tree. I appreciate that sort of like bits and pieces kind of feel.
Exactly.
And I appreciate the cape. I feel like on its own, like the Marinsky, I appreciate it a lot. But then when you just put it next to New York City Ballet, I feel like just New York City Ballet is just a little bit better constructed.
I agree. And I love that it's, cohesive with the original story of the Nutcracker.
I feel like it's the fullness, the silhouette.
The silhouette is perfect. So I think we're gonna go with New York City. I mean, and that's not even with a nostalgia attached to it. Like this is just
New York
objectively, objectively, a very good Rat King costume.
Lore accurate, well constructed, and just beautifully done.
Exquisite. So that was our preliminary round, you guys. We have narrowed down our 8 costumes down to 4. So make sure you grab some snacks, stretch your legs a little bit.
Get some like cheese and crackers or something.
Yeah, some cheese and crackers.
In the spirit of the Mouse King.
Exactly. And we will see you back here for the semifinals.
Let's move right along into our semi-final round.
Yes.
The stakes are raising. Let's go. Comparison number 1, semifinals, is Royal Ballet versus Boston Ballet.
Ooh, Boston.
I agree.
We already went into detail of how much we love the Boston Ballet costume.
To be fair, I think the Royal Ballet, like we said before, has a very nice polish to it.
Yes.
He looks like a king, and he looks a bit more majestic, and that's sort of the direction they went with their Rat King. He also really matches the Nutcracker because they both are like, you can see the actual dancer, but they just have like the different heads.
Exactly.
The Nutcracker has the Nutcracker head, and he has the Rat King
Exactly.
head. Costume-wise and setting-wise, they work really well, and they kind of look like they might match each other in combat. However, Boston Ballet,
I think it's just another level of
realism.
Detail, nuance, realism, and again, it's just all the little extra subtle details that they added to his costume that make it really stand out.
You know those little what is it? Brambly Hedge?
Yeah.
Is it Brambly Hedge?
Or like Beatrix Potter-ish?
Oh yeah, kind of Beatrix Potter. It looks like those mice that like they really look like mice, but they're like standing on 2 feet kind of thing. It looks like that, but like darker because he's the antagonist and he's the Rat King.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It just has that vibe.
It has that vibe.
I like how that head is so big compared to the body. The proportions are just very rat-like.
I think it would read well from the back of the audience as well.
An additional touch that I think is really cool is that the fur is kind of like they have different colors.
Yeah.
This will read well from the stage.
It really would.
Because
it has that shagginess to it.
And also if you look at actual rats and actual animals in general, a lot of times their fur kind of has like different flecks of color in it. And also just from a dimensions perspective, when the stage lights hit it, you'll see those kind of highlights and you'll see the dimensions and the form of the dancer's body a little bit better. Because when you have so much fur, it's sometimes easy for the lines to get lost, but this you'll kind of get to see it.
Dimension, which is very, very helpful. We're gonna go Boston with this round.
Boston for this one. I really did not expect anything would be able to top Royal Ballet for me.
Really?
Because this is one of my favorite Mouse Kings. I feel like it's very classic. It has like a really nice professional polish.
It does.
To it. But Boston really took me by surprise, and I'm not super familiar with their Nutcracker. But like I'm starting to think I should be, just for the Rat King. We're just gonna have to go to Boston
We need
someday.
to go to see Boston Ballet's Nutcracker.
Boston Ballet
shall proceed to the
Final Showdown.
Final Showdown.
Oh!
Okay, let's keep going.
Last semi-final comparison is San Francisco Ballet versus New York City Ballet. Ooh, both of these are really nice. They take it in a very child-friendly, whimsical direction.
Both are very, not comical, not cartoonish, but kind of.
Yeah, they have a bit more levity.
Yeah,
to it.
Definitely a lighter interpretation of the costume.
It's not too dark.
Exactly.
Scary. What do we want better?
I kind of like New York City. I'm not speaking from nostalgia. I swear I'm not speaking from nostalgia.
No, I agree. When you can go with the rat suit, go with the rat
Go
suit.
with the rat suit with
And
the 7 heads.
Yeah, the lore accuracy.
The lore accuracy is
Yeah.
there. I can't shake that.
Yeah,
and I
no.
think indisputably, and look at the little cheese scraps. They have the
Yeah,
cannon.
the cannon.
The cheese shoots out.
And the rats all like, they don't like die, but they all get
Yeah.
distracted by the cheese. It's really cute.
It's very funny.
Funny enough, though, this is a gross rat facts for you guys. Buckle
Yeah.
up. Apparently, a rat king is actually a
A phenomenon.
yeah, phenomenon. The rat king is actually a real phenomenon when rats kind of all band together too tight and their tails get all tangled up. And so then you would actually form this mass of rats that are all like attached to each other
Yeah.
and they're all stuck together. And oftentimes they will just die like that
Like
because they're stuck and they can't, go find food or protect themselves or whatever.
And they call it the rat king.
And they actually call it a rat king. And so that's why we have this giant rat here with 7 heads. And he's literally called the Rat King. I just think that's
Yeah.
very, very fun.
Rat king trivia with Ballet.
Rat King trivia. You didn't need to know, but now you do.
Go gross out your friends with that
Yeah, go
one.
gross out your friends with
All
that
right,
one.
anyway. But yeah, I think I'm leaning New York City with this one. San Fran is wonderful. It's got all the detail that read
Yeah.
really well from the stage, but I think just for the silhouette
Yeah.
and the 7 heads and the lore accuracy, we're gonna go New York City Ballet.
It's the rat suit, you guys.
It is the rat suit. Let's go into the final showdown.
Let's do it.
All right, you guys.
Oh God.
We have arrived at the final showdown.
The moment you've all been waiting for.
Yes, and our 2 final contestants are the Boston Ballet and the New York City Ballet Rat Kings.
This is terrible. We are in a very bad predicament, you guys. Do we want to go the realistic, actual mouse in the flesh with the little decorations
A
as
little martini olive.
and his martini olive? Or do we want to go lore accurate, immaculately done, intimidating but not too intimidating, actual 7-headed Rat King from the New York City Ballet?
They both had their unique advantages.
Uh-huh.
I can't even say either of them have a disadvantage.
Yeah, I don't
They
think so.
just have advantages.
Yeah, there's only advantages.
So which advantages do you like
know.
better?
Pip, you can get in closer. Like, here you go.
Boston Ballet is definitely more elaborate.
Yeah,
There's a lot more detail and
like smaller details.
Exactly, there's a lot more smaller details. But
Like
ultimately, New York City Ballet has a very big advantage with the
The
mouse
lore
heads.
accuracy. Do each of the heads have a different expression?
I think they do, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I think they do.
Wow, you can really see all of the. That must be so hard to dance in. Kudos to the dancers. Like all of our Rat Kings out there this Nutcracker
Oh my
season.
goodness, so much love to you. We know
Genuinely.
we know you can't breathe
Yeah.
for the entire battle scene, and we're so sorry.
Everyone said that it smells really bad.
Oh, it does. It does. Yeah.
Same with like the Nutcracker people.
Yeah, the
all
Nutcrackers.
Nutcracker
All our love to the Nutcrackers and Mouse Kings.
Yep.
Wishing you oxygen.
I was really going to thank New York City Ballet just for lore accuracy, but Boston Ballet is quickly winning my heart. Just the amount of detail, it looks so realistic. Whiskers and the nose and the fur. Like, what did they make this out of? They made it out of like tulle. They're like tulle.
I'm not sure if it's tulle. Could be tulle. Could be just like floof.
No, but it looks like ruffle.
It does.
It's like ruffled and
Oh,
it's
maybe
like
it is.
snipped so that it's like kind of phrased like that. Yeah, but it's in like different colors and layers.
Boston is giving New York City
A run for its money.
a run for its money.
I'm not even joking. But again, the New York City Ballet, I'm kind of in love with this just because of the plushness of it. It
The
seems
silhouette is very mousy.
it seems unintimidating, but in the right way. Almost adds a bit of comedy to it. The plushness adds some comedy.
To kind of balance out the 7 head.
Yeah.
I love that they added that because
know.
literally no other company does
No
that.
other company does the
Like,
7
okay,
headed.
maybe there are, but
Maybe
like
there
there
are
are very few major companies, especially that add that little detail.
Yeah. Okay, but like for real, like we need a logical explanation. You can't just like close your eyes and pick one because we could do
No,
that. We could just close our eyes and pick one, and honestly, we.
But that wouldn't be a video, right?
Yeah, I'd stand by any choice. Like you
Yeah.
could just like spin a wheel, throw a dart, and draw a slip of paper. Like it would be good either way. It's just we need an objective reasoning for why we'd pick either one. Okay, here's another thing that might be airing me towards Boston.
Okay.
Is just his expression. I feel like it reads better from the stage.
I think
As
so.
much as I love the 7 heads, okay?
I know.
Okay, maybe it's a lighting issue. Because I do know that New York City Ballet's battle scene is very dark. And
It
you
is
don't
quite
see
dark.
a lot of the details of the mice.
Yeah,
So I feel like
maybe.
maybe in just this picture in particular and also the recordings we've seen, it's just very dark, and so you don't always see necessarily the expression of his face. But I feel like this one is really well done in terms of readability
It is very
from
readable.
the stage.
It is
and
very readable.
you get to see kind of his little like
Yeah, his little, it's like his little
his
grin.
menacing little
almost.
grin.
Yeah.
You know?
I understand.
So from the back of the auditorium, you can see it, the mouse silhouette, you can see his expression, you can see
Yeah.
sort of, obviously, the dancer's gonna have incredible body language. You have to
Yes,
be
you'll
to
be an
do-
actor.
to be the Rat King. And then when you look up close, you can see all of the details. You can see the
Yeah.
actual fur. You can see the whiskers, you can see the little tinsel details in his costume.
Yeah.
You can see all of those kind of little elements in there. So I feel like in terms of a cohesive show perspective, I'm almost going Boston. What do you think?
I was gonna say Boston too, if I'm honest. And this is like expanding past just the Mouse King. All of his little mice subjects are also fantastically
Yeah.
costumed.
I would even go so far as to say that all of Boston Ballet's animal characters
true.
in
The
general,
Boston Ballet Bear.
the Boston Ballet Bear, the little bunny,
Yeah. Oh my God, the bunny is adorable.
he looks like a little stuffed rabbit.
He's so cute.
All of the Boston Ballet animal costumes are so
Incredible.
well done.
And the Rat King obviously is
Is
no
no
exception.
exception,
Like his costume is absolutely phenomenal.
This is the plot twist that I did not see coming.
I literally thought we were gonna go New York City
genuinely.
Ballet.
I kind of knew like my mental catalog of like Rat Kings. I was like, okay, yeah, Royal Ballet, New York City Ballet. Those were like kind of my two. I was like, I love those two. They're really great.
Boston, you are scaring me. a
Boston!
little. Like not like that, but
Like you came out of left field.
what is going on? Are we going Boston?
Oh my god, you guys,
Ladies and gentlemen,
you guys.
we may have our very unsuspecting,
Unsuspecting, but like no regrets kind of winner.
regrets kind of winner.
The winner of the Ultimate Rat King Costume Showdown goes to the Boston Ballet. What? Genuinely not how I expected this video to go, but they blew us away.
They blew us
Actually.
away. Congratulations, Boston.
And like normally we'd stick to lore accurate, but
I?
Boston Ballet literally knocked my socks off.
I'm in awe. I really love Boston.
I'm so impressed with it. It's just
Yeah.
a perfect balance of realism,
Yeah.
little nuanced, cute detail, and also being antagonistic enough. It's just perfect. He really looks like the rat. He looks like the king. And in like the little Christmas setting, it's just
It's perfect.
it's intuitively done. There are all these little like tongue-in-cheek details.
Exactly. Yeah, it's readable. It's very well executed, and I think Pip approves as well.
Pip
And
gives us a squeak of approval.
congratulations, Boston Ballet, on
Well, hard won.
on winning the subjectively the best Rat King costume.
Boston Ballet was up against stiff competition.
Very,
Like I
very
would
much
even
so.
say like Royal Ballet in the last round.
I know, yeah.
Stiff competition.
Very.
New York City Ballet here, lore accurate, absolutely beautiful, and also kind of adorable. All very tough competition.
Exactly.
But yet Boston Ballet has prevailed.
Prevailed, pushed through, and conquered.
No regrets.
No regrets.
Now we really need to go see Boston Ballet's
Ballet.
Nutcrackers. And if y'all are in the Boston area, maybe
Go see.
if you want to see
Go
this
see it.
fantastic costume in action,
Yes, please go and check them out.
go check them out.
Yes. And there you have it, you guys. That was the official, long-awaited 1 year.
1 year
waited for Rat King Costume Showdown. We hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure you like the video.
Honestly, this was such a fun video to do.
So much fun.
Because the Rat King, in and of himself, gives so much room for interpretation.
It totally does, yeah.
And it's amazing to see all of these companies kind of just take it and run with it
Exactly.
in completely different but all incredible directions.
Yes.
It's not like it's an easy costume to pull off.
No, it's not.
So it was amazing to be able to look through them all, to admire like the craftsmanship that goes into
Exactly.
these beautiful costumes, and ultimately share our opinions and crown our winner.
Make sure you guys leave a comment below to tell us which of these Rat King costumes was your favorite. Did you agree with our final choice? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear all the details.
Give us the banter.
Yes, we want it all. And if you missed last year's costume showdown on the Sugar Plum Fairy, which we did, linked above and below, along with all the other costume showdowns that we have done on this channel.
And we've done quite a few.
We have done a few. They will be linked above and below in a neat little playlist for you to check out later.
And make sure to share this video with all of your ballet nerd friends because everyone needs a little more Rat King content in their life.
Everyone does.
Whether they know it or not. There are two kinds of people in this world, those that love the Rat King and those that don't know they love the Rat King yet.
Thank you so much to our patrons for making today's video possible. We appreciate you guys so much. You're really doing the most to help us keep doing what we do for you guys. And if you are watching this video and you have not become a patron yet, but you would like to support what we do here on YouTube, then you can feel free to join us on Patreon at patreon.com/balletrain, or you can click the link in the description box and we'll see you over there.
Anyways, I think that is all from us for now. This is Ballerine signing off. Until the next video. Bye. Do we need the Nutcracker doll?
Oh, should we?
Should we?
For Nutcracker
or the Christmas
season?
trees or something? Should we bring them?
Wait, is Flurry? We should bring
Oh, we should
Flurry
bring-
back.
Okay, I'll go get Flurry.
Flurry needs to make a return. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Dude, I have something even better.
Okay. Oh, bro.
You guys!
It's a tiny mouse.
Look at the tiny stuffed mouse. We also have Flurry. It's time for Christmas decorating, you guys.
It's a little tail.
I made this one myself, actually. I sewed it.
Isn't that cute?
You can put Pip the Squeaker right here next to Michelangelo. Oh, that's cute. What about Flurry? Should Flurry just stay to the side for now? Flurry, you can be in the next video, okay? Say goodbye to everybody.
Mousy rat.
I said Rose. Rose colored. He's filled with rice.
I want to be filled.
I wish I were filled with rice right now.